Despite being the sort of place where Rishi Sunak would have to sell a kidney in order to afford a garden shed, Brian Forbes, the director of Whistle Down the Wind, somehow managed to make Downham look like a complete dump. The village is often called the most beautiful village in Lancashire, generally by estate agents attempting to justify the sort of prices that'd make a statue's eyes water. It's certainly old, being in the hands of Alfred the Saxon 1,500 years ago. We don't know what Alfred's surname was. Saxon laws were very informal back in those times. It has a pub, some extremely ancient houses, most of them dating from Tudor times, a bridge, the remains of some stocks, an old church, a red telephone box, an excellent view of Pendle Hill, and a starring role in an episode of Poirot in which it didn't look quite as grotty as it did in Whistle Down the Wind. Somebody in a four-wheel drive stopped us and asked, could you tell us where Pendle Hill is? Obviously they were modern-day witch hunters. Yes, we replied. You see that big hump at the end of the street? The church is called St Leonard's. According to the internet, work was begun on its construction back in the 15th century and completed in 1910. Obviously they missed a few bits because part of it was still fenced off when we visited. It stands at the top of the steep main street of the village in a perfect and harmonious grouping with Downham Hall, according to the same website. Jammed into the wall surrounding the aforementioned Downham Hall stands, or rather lies, the Great Stone. What's so great about it is open to debate. Legend tells, however, that it was moved in 1830 by Lord Downham himself. He was obviously a big bloke. From just across the road, where a milestone in the shape of a gravestone, deliberately so we suspect, now stands. When the stone was borrowed, stroke stolen, stroke requisitioned, the body, or possibly bodies because the details are a bit sketchy to say the least, of a Roman soldier, stroke soldiers, was, stroke were discovered beneath it, hence the gravestone-shaped milestone previously mentioned, possibly. Apparently, the legionnaires died defending the nearby Roman road from troublesome Brigantes from Fleetwood. Anyhow, nowadays, whenever the church bell strikes midnight, the Great Stone turns itself around and upside down. We'll just have to take their word for it because we didn't hang around to find out.